MPD232 program bank change is not working is the problem, and I've set up a test here to try and prove this because I really want this part to work. If it doesn't work, the MPD232 is useless to me. So what I've done is set up a test. I'm trying to control this unit here. I'm just going to have to put this on like this because it's quite difficult to do. Okay, so all we've got is AKAI Oscillator Pro. We've got the MPD232. I've got a PC set up with MIDI monitor, MIDI OX. I've got an MPK25 which does work, and I've got a USB MIDI adapter to test what's coming through. So, okay, so the working unit, this is pressing the buttons on the pressing buttons on the MPK25, and what will happen is that will actually change the output on the AKAI oscillator. So that's changing the program on the AKAI oscillator, but it is changing it between bank 1 and bank 0. So that is going between the two, a low level from 0 to 127, and then the next setup, which is 0 to 127 on MSB 1. Now that works on the MK25, that's not a problem. But doing the same thing on the MPD232, it does not work at all. Because whilst this works by changing, it can actually change the program number. So which is fine, but when you change the MSB bit, you get nothing happening at all. And this is the outputs coming out here, and this is the outputs coming out here. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to send this to AKAI, I'm going to now just go closer detail on the individual bits of kit and what they're actually outputting, so that AKAI can fix it, because clearly this needs fixing. So the first thing I'm going to do is just look at the global number, which is the version number for AKAI's reference. The version number is, I'm just coming up, its version number is 1 and 1. Now I can't find any update to MPD232, probably because it has just possibly come out, I suppose, I don't know, but there's nothing I can see on the site for that. So we're going to go into edit mode. We've got program bank change, and what I've done is I've set this up so that on 1 and 2 keys the LSB bit is changing from 1 to 0. On here, this is the MPK25. I've got exactly the same with bank change, so that's the LSB bank 1 and 2. Now that, if you look on there, this is changing, that's using the MPK, and you can see it's changing the values of the program. Now this is the MPD, and nothing happens. I'll do a program change on the MPD and it's fine. Obviously it keeps the last bank change, so if I set that to 0 now, it will be on the 0 bank. So that can work. This does work on program change, but it is not working on bank change. That is definitely not working. So just for AKAI benefit, here is the readout. This is from the MPK25. That's what's just come out of the MPK25. So you've got 0 and 1 and the program change. And I'm going to do the same on the MPD232. And that's where you get 6 and 22. Always comes out of it. Now this has been restarted, repowered. At the moment this is connected via USB, but just to prove the point, I'm going to put this onto external power supply. So I'm going to physically take it out of, I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to connect this to an external power supply, because on the MPK25 it does need to be on external power supply, but I've tested this and it does not work either on this setting. So, and I'm going to give it, to be fair, I'm going to shut the power off just in case it doesn't like that. Okay, so edit mode. So there's the same things there, 1 and 0. From power up, it's going from 22.6 on the MSB LSB bit. This is why it's not working. And when I can change the program, but when I change the bank, it does not work, because the LSB bank numbers are 22 and 6. That's not working. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because, quite honestly, I've had the AKAI kit. I've got the MPK25 that's sitting there, and actually it's amazingly good, really, because the MPK25 does actually work, but it is cumbersome to use. And VivaZ's, the editor for it, is just painful and hasn't been updated, and I doubt it ever will be updated. But this is a nice, this piece of kit, the MPD232, is a nice piece of kit. It should be fantastic, but it's not. It is obviously flawed badly on this particular issue and needs to be fixed. And I think really, and if I didn't do the video to say this, I don't think that AKAI will be doing much about it very quickly, because historically the MPK25, which I've had for some time, there's been absolutely no update to that at all, and you know, it fails dismally in a lot of ways, which is why I was updating the MPD232. So AKAI, this needs to be fixed. It just is not working. Program change does not work, and if program change doesn't work, it means I can't do any of the stuff, the basic MIDI stuff that I need to do with this. It doesn't matter whether it works for a computer, that's not the issue. This should work as a MIDI controller. It's got MIDI ports on it, it should be able to do a program change, and it's not. And just to take it one step further, I'll just point out what we've got here is this is going directly in to, from the output there, directly into this box, the adapter. I've got the 2 units going in. That's the MPK25. It's going on a second port. That's why you can see both ports on here. This is mapped through onto the output. So we've got a mapping through MIDI OX. This is going onto this output port, which is going directly into the AKAI Pro. So that's the link up. There's no other piece of kit. There's no computers involved. In fact, the USB is taken out of that. So it is just a pure, absolute hardware setup, and this piece of firmware is not working. The program change is definitely not changing value. It is putting 22 and 6 when it should be 0 and 1 for the same type of change. That is the error. So please, AKAI, can you please look at this as soon as possible, because I've got 2 weeks to test this. But this is a showstopper right now. So 2 weeks to test it, because it has to go back to the shop, is why, and I'm sure a lot of other people will be in exactly the same position. And I have to make a decision, but at the moment it's not working, and I hate to send it back, because actually it does do what I want it to do. And just a final point, MPK keyboards apparently do not have an editor like this for the MPD232. Why? I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, I can't believe that the AKAI's software is so wildly different between two different pieces of kit that you can't use the same editor for the parts of it which are identical, if at an absolute minimum. I'm sure that people at AKAI don't sit there changing everything on an AKAI on the front of this thing. You're going to use your editor. Please, you've got to give more input on this. It's just not good enough. Right, that's my rant over. Please, AKAI, please fix this. Please.